Oshi No Ko chapter 127 gave us as many surprises as it did moments where it moved the plot forward in ways that were definitely needed. We're clearly in the end game now, but we're also seemingly setting up for another plot twist after the release of the movie 15-Year Lie, which now makes me believe that despite these death flags that we have for Aqua currently, we're likely going to be ending the story on a high note with B Komachi performing inside of a dome, basically bringing the story full circle where the first chapter opened up with the original group preparing for their big show at the dome, only for Ai to pass away, and we end up with her children fulfilling her dream that she never got the chance to carry out. However, we'll touch on that later on in the review. For now, let's back things up and let's get into the recap portion of the review. We pick up with Miyako giving the members of B Komachi instructions for how the next few weeks will play out and stressing the importance of what it means for the future of Strawberry Productions as a whole, because they're basically entering into an extremely big and busy portion of the year with so many projects going on, all while you have the ticking clock of Kana wanting to quit the group by the time she graduates. However, while we see Ruby looking forward to getting some much needed rest since she's been running on empty for the last few months, working gig after gig, trying to maximize her success while the window's still open, we have Ichigo already making his presence felt with his return to Strawberry Productions. Whereas everyone else was looking at Kana's graduation saying that this would be the end, Ichigo is showing some of what that keen intellect and understanding of people that he actually has, because he reveals that he's already organized for a tour for the group at the end of the year. Now, what I like about this is that while he does say Kana has already agreed to it, the fact still remains that he likely knew beforehand that someone like her, who has been in show business for as long as she has, is likely to be flexible on her timetable, and it's actually really good writing in terms of a decision to have this be revealed here in this very moment, because it comes right at the time they're preparing to work on this gigantic movie. Like Oshi No Ko did for the first season of the anime where it showed Akane, giving the viewers the dark side of how social media can tear down the psyche of a creator or a performer. We're seeing a little bit of that right here, but it's covering a different situation. Artists, creators, performers, they end up making sacrifices, especially ones that they didn't want to make in order to continue to appease the appetite of the fans. You can tell from her reaction that Kana wanted to graduate at a set date, but she pushed it back, and the reason why that works so well is that it does tie into the whole concept of shooting a movie. Movies don't just do major photography and filming for 6 weeks and then that's it. The actors are often on standby in the time after the filming wraps in case there's a need for reshoots or to film new material. You get brought back in and sometimes it's inconvenient for you because there might be another gigantic project you want to take on. Substitute out Kana having another project or a movie with her having her graduation plan. She's basically having to push it back for this upcoming tour that's likely going to end the manga. I love the little small nuggets such as this that really do a good job at highlighting the characters while also sprinkling in some real world parallels as well, especially when you have the director dropping off the script basically saying that things don't always go according to plan, which is fitting for a director to say that, just given this whole thing is symbolically what would happen with a reshoot and the sudden change in plans for the actor. After we get some humor with Kana poking fun at Mim for her age, saying she's basically been pretending to be a high school girl forever, and she's doing this while trying to lift her spirits to say this should be easy, saying she should be used to acting. It's low-key some shade. It's kind of funny to read it because we gotta call 911 on Kana for that, because she basically caught a body on Mimcho by basically playing the age card here, but that's what makes it so funny, especially the way that Mimcho's face is drawn when Kana throws that lighthearted jab at her. However, not even Kana is safe from the jabs in the writing, because when she hears the director talk about how hard it is to find a good, talented child actor, it leads to Ruby throwing an innocent jab herself. Innocent in that it's just like with the Kana thing. You can tell that Ruby wasn't saying this to be petty or malicious. It's more like a concerned remark that simultaneously threw Kana under the bus a little bit, which is Ruby basically says that Kana is living in her past glory as a child actor, which does make me feel a little bit sad for her to an extent, even though I know that's not the case, because on one hand she definitely has had success from being a child actor, but she's also part of a rising idol group, so you'd think that there'd be some more appreciation for the current success, but this could just be the nostalgia coming through though. However, Aqua, upon hearing the need for a child actor, takes things into his own hands and searches out the mysterious kid who's always got these crows around her, and asks if she can play the role that's needed for the script, and that's where we get some pretty interesting details about the character. This child is someone who's clearly been reincarnated, but they also have some dangerous powers, making it a point to flat out say that she has the power to transfer the memories of the dead into an infant body, which basically confirms a major theory the Phantoms had, which is that this child might have been behind Aqua and Ruby being reborn as Ai's children. But the major question after that is why them specifically, and why reincarnate them as Ai's children specifically as well. This was really well placed in terms of a reveal, because we see it after Aqua and the child go back and forth to a degree about who's a god, and Aqua is accusing the child of being a god, and then you got her saying that someone like Aqua, who has memories of their past life, is a god as well. And that's actually a really nice tie back to what you saw early on in Oshi No Ko, where Aqua and Ruby as infants were basically telling Miyako that if she were to expose the secrets of Ai having children, basically they would punish her because they were pretending to be Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi. So I thought that was a nice Easter egg right there, and I'm glad to see more of the supernatural element being addressed head up as we go into the final arc's conclusion. And it does seem like this might be a major setup to give us more answers, because this kid is going to be playing a big role in this movie seemingly. Now, to Aqua's credit, we see the master manipulator Aqua back at it again, because of the way that he's slowly able to keep pressing the buttons on this kid in order to make her agree to join the movie cast, because he's basically going at her pride, saying, hey, it's okay if you can't do this, and if you think it's beyond your ability, then sure, I can go look somewhere else, no big worry. Which is hilarious when you read the chapter again, and you see Aqua clearly saw the opportunity and leaped at the moment when it was presented to him, not letting the jabs that are thrown at him of being an old man lecturing kids actually get to him, which technically it isn't wrong, since in his past life Aqua was a man that was in his late 30s, which is one thing that I love about this series of events. Everyone catches us stray to a degree in this chapter, but Aqua is the one who navigates them the best. Mimcho got hurt by the stray that Kana threw. Kana was oblivious when Ruby shot off one at her, and Aqua just ignores the one coming from Crow Girl and seizes the opportunity to get her to agree to join the cast, and basically she responds by feeling the need to tell everyone that she came of her own accord. It basically cements Aqua as having the leverage in this entire situation, for now at least. I don't think that this is always going to be the case. You're not going to maintain leverage over someone like that for a long period of time. That line where they say they could just snap their fingertip and something would happen to Aqua's soul, it's a very blunt admission that she has power that she hasn't used yet that can actually reshape everything if Aqua makes the mistake that appears to go down the right decision, because this girl says it's her job to guide people to the right choice. I do love that this chapter shows us a different side of the entertainment industry while simultaneously giving us more of Crow Girl's personality. I like that we went back to some of the roots of Oshi No Ko's early days, back when Aqua and I were shooting a movie at the beginning of the series, while also going more behind the scenes this time, because in the last movie that was shot, we didn't get a behind the scenes look to an extensive degree. Obviously, the most important stuff is Aqua and Crow Girl's personality and their conversation, and why she chose Aqua and Ruby to be Ai's children, which is going to be my question for you guys. What do you think Crow Girl's endgame is?